Hi there, I'm just sat here thinking, no, I'm not ready. But anyway, stick around because I'm going to talk this week about my process and you'll want to hear about that. But first, if you are new to my Red Couch, welcome. My name is Toni Kenyon and I am a romance writer, and I write about rock star romances and I write about billionaires. And like I say every week, rock stars are simply billionaires with massive ego problems. Anyway, so welcome to my couch. I have been out and about in what is probably Auckland's coldest winter day so far this year, which is why I am all wrapped up in wool for the first time ever, I think, and I'll probably get warm as the recording goes on because I have a lovely light in here, which acts like a nice little sort of, what would you say, alternate sun? Anyway, so I've introduced myself. I've got my list, you see. My head is still out on the Harbour Bridge in Auckland and it is grey and overcast outside, and I think we had the first icy cold rain that we have had so far this year. And for my lovely American friends who are just coming into spring, I really can't complain because I don't get snow. I just get icy, icy rain, and I'm never very happy about getting icy, icy rain, but never mind. So anyway, that's the weather for you. The next thing on my little list, my handy list, which I have with me every week, is to talk about this week's winner of an ebook copy of one of my stories from my backlist. And this week's winner is Susan Moore. Now, Susan, I have chosen you to win this week because you asked me a really interesting question, which is the sort of subject of today's chat. And what Susan asked me inside of the Red Couch group, and if you would like to become one of my Ruby readers, please go and join my Red Couch group. We have a little bit of fun in there. I do a few things in there that other people don't see. So do come and join us. We have some fun and we talk about lots of interesting things. And this week, Susan left me lots of hearts because everybody knows that I like hearts. I love it when you press the like button. And thank you very much, Lisa. It's lovely to see you here. I love it when you press the like button, but I also love it when we have lots of hearts running across the screen. Actually, they run up, and they run up on that side when I'm filming. So, hearts. Wash me, bury me in hearts. We know that I love hearts. Susan, after she had left me a multitude of many coloured hearts, asked me about the process of writing the King Brothers serial each week. And if you're following the story, we are already up to week 9. I can't believe how that happened. And I leave 2 questions at the end of every episode to help me write the story. And Susan said, do you have plot lines worked out when you ask the questions? And I had to say, actually, no, I don't. And it sounds really bizarre, but I have always allowed my characters to lead my stories, which can get me into trouble sometimes and certainly makes writing a weekly serial interesting. But the questions that I ask at the end of each chapter are logical decisions that the characters have to make at the place that we're at in the story. So that was my answer to Susan. No, I don't think about where the story's going to go. I just go, this character has some choices to make. These are the 2 choices. You make those choices for the character. And normally I'll allow, if I'm writing all on my own, I'll allow the character to make the choice, and then we'll go off and see where the story takes us. And it's my understanding from the craft sessions that I've sat through and learned about is that is allowing, it's what we call a character-driven story. It's allowing the character to drive the plot as opposed to allowing the plot. No, it's allowing the character to drive the story as opposed to allowing the plot to drive the story. So my stories are not plot driven. They are definitely character driven, and I might have an idea in my mind when I start a story, obviously where I want it to finish, which is with a happy ever after, because that's where all romances finish, which is why we love them and we love reading them. But letting the characters run the story makes for a really lovely emotional story, in my humble opinion. So that's what I do. So what happens for me then is that then we vote, and I look at the voting at the start of the week and I start to see which way it's going. And I think the last time I looked, there was about 14% of the vote wanted the story to go one way, and the balance wanted it to go the other way. So as far as I'm concerned, that means that there's a definite trend as to which way the story is going to go. So I can kind of start thinking about what the character's going to do, because that's the way that you're leading them. And even if I was writing it without you, that would still be my process, because I would just wait for the character to tell me where we were going in the story, and then I would write that. And I don't know if I've talked about it before, but I'm a very auditory writer, which means that I don't see things happening, even though I love writing description. I write my description by going and finding a picture that I like the look of, and then describing what I'm seeing in the picture or the stock art or wherever it is that I've decided to set the story. But my characters talk to me. So really what I'm doing a lot of the time is just writing down what they're saying to me and what their thoughts are, because that's what I hear. And so when I then get an idea of where the story's going, then I just listen to see where we're going with the next part of the story, and I write another chapter, and then we have another couple of questions, and that's how it's working week after week, and we'll just see where we go. And I think everybody's happy to see where we're going, because I'm having lots of positive comments about it. And lots of people seem to be reading, and lots of people are voting, and lots of people are leaving it till the weekend to vote, which is fine. I'm leaving the voting open a little bit later so people can come and vote at the weekend. And then it just means, though, that I have to start seriously thinking on Monday, or seriously listening on Monday, to where the story is going to go. So that's the process. That's my process for how this King Brothers serial is coming together. And I thought it was a really, really interesting question that Susan asked. So if you have any interesting questions to ask about my process or my writing or my stories or my characters or anything, drop them in the comments or email me, and I can give you the answer next week on video or whenever. But I thought that that was a really interesting thing to talk about, and thank you, Susan, and I look forward to hearing from you when you tell me which of my books you would like to read. Okay. So while we're talking about the King Brothers, do make sure that you vote this week, because there could be sexy times, she says in quotes, sexy times, on the way, dependent upon how you vote. Right. Okay, so I think I've mentioned that it's freezing because I'm in wool, although it is warming up in here rapidly with the lights on. And I have my little greenhouse out the back there through that little window that you can see there. And I am pleased to announce that I am happily growing summer greens and lettuces, and I have little aubergine plants that are popping their little heads above the seedling mix. So I'm very, very excited to be growing tomatoes and cucumbers and little lettuces and beans, which are now flowering. Although I have to say there is a snail in there somewhere that I haven't found who is devouring a few of the leaves. And I could have done with the lovely hedgehog that I didn't manage to save, very sad this week, in there dealing to the snails for me. But anyway, never mind. These are very much first world problems, but I thought I would just give you a little update on the greenhouse, because I do love popping in there. It is so much warmer than the vegetable garden outside. And I do have a lot of winter jobs in the garden this weekend that I'm probably not looking forward to as the temperature drops, but kumara has to be dug, and beds have to be prepared for winter veggies, and carrots have to be sown, and onions have to be put in the ground, and all of those good things. So I'm looking forward to a nice weekend of relaxing gardening, because it has been a very big week. I will keep an eye on the voting for the King Brothers, and I will look forward to hearing from you again. So don't forget, if you're watching this on the replay, which most of you will be, a few of you have been here live, but most of you will be watching this on the replay, let me know where you're from. Hit the red heart button so I get lots of hearts. Leave a comment, ask me a question. You may get to choose one of my ebooks from my backlist if I decide to answer your question. Looking forward to catching you all again soon. Have a wonderful weekend. Friday afternoon here for me. I know it's still Thursday night in lots of places in the world, but it is my Friday. The weekend is coming and I'm looking forward to doing some extra reading and having some time in my garden. And I will catch you all again soon. Thank you very much for being here and thank you for allowing me to be a part of your life. I love having you along for the journey. Bye-bye.